This case is a perfect example of what happens when confidence completely outruns competence in a courtroom. We've got a defendant who clearly believes he's cracked some kind of legal code, throwing around words like jurisdiction, common law, and court of record, as if that alone gives him control over the situation. But here's the problem. Knowing the words is not the same as understanding the law. From the very beginning, the judge can see exactly where this is going. This isn't someone asking genuine legal questions. This is someone trying to challenge the entire system based on ideas picked up from the internet. And if you've seen cases like this before, you already know how they usually end. What makes this even more intense is how direct the judge is. No sugarcoating, no long debates, just straight, blunt reality checks. Something you don't always see in courtrooms. And here's the big question. Is the defendant actually defending himself, or unknowingly making his situation worse with every word? Because what you're about to see is a complete breakdown of how fast things can spiral when legal arguments aren't grounded in reality.
Where is Mr. Gray?
Mr. Gray is here.
You got a long way to go on your license too, don't you?
Yes.
William Glenn on behalf of Mr. Gray, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Gray, are you trying to get a driver's license?
Your Honor, I'm here by special appearance.
I knew that was coming. I knew that was coming. Go ahead.
I don't understand the nature of the case that's here in front of me. I don't understand.
So you don't understand the nature of the case that's here in front of you. You don't understand that you got to have a driver's license to operate a motor vehicle on the roads of the state of Michigan. You don't understand any of that stuff.
Your Honor, I don't understand the jurisdiction. I don't understand how I wound up here.
You know, I got a similar case, and this gentleman provided me with a motion the other day, and I'm reading the motion, and I'm reading the case law that he says is supporting the fact that the court doesn't have jurisdiction, that the state can't make you have a driver's license and things like that. And when you read the case law that he gives me, and it's probably gonna be, if you did your own motion, it'd probably be the same case law that you would try to cite. It says exactly the opposite of what he is trying to purport.
Okay, so what is the jurisdiction of the court?
Go ahead.
What is the jurisdiction of the court, Your Honor?
You know, if you're saying that the court doesn't have jurisdiction, are you trying to say basic? Let's just talk real simple, basic stuff. Are you trying to say that you can just run red lights, you can just speed, you can just do what you want to do on the roads without any repercussions at all?
Your Honor, is this a court of record? I'm sorry, is this a court of record? Is this a court of record?
As far as I checked, it was, Mr. Glenn.
Yes, it is, sir.
Okay, so you guys follow a common law.
We follow the state. We follow the statute of the state of Michigan.
You follow a common law, Your Honor.
The 14th Amendment gives the state the right to enforce the police powers of the state. The right of that is to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens. Part of that right comes, part of that constitutional right says that the state has the authority to regulate the people that are driving on the roads of the state of Michigan, and to say that to protect the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens.
The Sixth Amendment allows me to know the nature of what I'm being charged with, and that's.
I'm gonna tell you. SP 126786553, failure to display a valid operator's license, punishment.
Your Honor, I'm challenging your. I'm challenging.
Go ahead.
I'm challenging his jurisdiction, Your Honor. I don't understand the nature of the charges.
Right.
For the record, Your Honor, please have the prosecutor put jurisdiction on the record. For if you could, Your Honor, just let me know so that since we're in court of record.
Well, if I have a signed complaint here, which I have a signed complaint, then that automatically puts the jurisdiction on the record.
All right, I didn't get a copy of that, and if you have a copy, I'm going to need that to be signed on the penalty of perjury, Your Honor. If it's an accusation. And yeah, I would just, if one of the things I request is, if I can just get that accusation with sworn penalty of perjury, that would be great.
That's that.
He got it. We'll give it to him again.
I appreciate it.
We're gonna give it to him again. And don't get me wrong. I respect the fact that you that you want to fight this, but I would say from my experience, you're going about it all the wrong way. And I just ask you that basic question. You don't think that the police or that the state or that the ordinances have a right to stop people from speeding and running traffic stops? Because basically, with your logic that you're trying to purport, then nobody can get stopped for anything.
Your Honor, no one was hurt. There is no injured party, Your Honor. And so upon my of the law, and this is a court of record, and no one was hurt. And so we're following the common law. I understand that a lot of people don't understand how to function here, but since I do, well then I want to exercise this right. Can I file my pleadings with your clerk?
Pardon me?
Can I file my pleadings with your clerk of court? Your clerk of court.
You gotta file the pleadings as the court rules say you're supposed to file the pleadings. Now, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it like the court rules say. And you gotta go, the court rules are all online on how you file the pleadings.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You gotta serve one to the city attorney. You can serve the other one on the court through my clerk and the email address that she's gonna send you when she sends you those tickets. But if we're gonna play ball, sir, you're gonna have to know the rules of the game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Because you're gonna give me your motion. You're gonna give me your motion on how the court has no jurisdiction over you. You're gonna give me your motion on how how all of this stuff, right? And have that in by the end of the day on April.
Your Honor, what I don't think that is my job to prove jurisdiction.
It is your job. It is your job.
It's the assertor's job to prove that whoever's asserting the claim, it's their job, Your Honor.
No, it's your job, sir. You're saying that the court has no jurisdiction over you.
No. What I'm saying is that the court has to prove jurisdiction. That's what I'm saying. That's different. So, and what I'm saying is that the court needs to prove jurisdiction. Whoever asserted the claim has to prove the jurisdiction.
Mr. Goss, are you on the line?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So he's gonna say that you have to prove jurisdiction.
And the jurisdiction is codified in the state of Michigan. So if he's arguing otherwise, that's his beliefs. And at trial, I will be stating the facts of the complaint. And it's his assertions does not mean that they're correct, Your Honor.
Right.
Do I have the right to know the charges that are waged against me?
The judge already gave you the charges.
The charges that are waged against you. This is an arraignment. Let's go through that right now. So we don't get this. So we don't hear this issue.
Okay.
We'll do that.
Yes.
We'll do that right now. Mr. Glenn, can you put your appearance on the record now, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. William Glenn, House Counsel on behalf of Mr. Gray, or standby attorney on behalf of Mr. Gray.
All right. What about the warrant, sir? What are we going to do with that?
Your Honor, we would ask that the court set aside the warrants.
All right. The court will set aside the warrant, the court will enter a not guilty plea on his behalf, and the court will issue a $0 personal.
Your Honor, I object. Your Honor, I object.
For what?
I don't have enough information to enter a plea. And that's one of my abilities is for me to know and me to understand and be able to make an informed plea. And I need more information.
Your Honor.
Plea for me, and I don't understand. So right now, I object, Your Honor.
My client stands mute to the charges. That means he doesn't say guilty or not guilty.
All right. Well,
And I'll plead innocent. Then I'll plead innocent.
And just like that, we reach the end of a courtroom exchange that perfectly shows how quickly things can unravel when someone tries to argue law without truly understanding it. The defendant faced multiple charges: driving without a valid license, no insurance, vehicle violations, and instead of addressing those directly, chose to challenge jurisdiction and rely on arguments that simply don't apply. Let's break it down. The judge gave clear explanations, pointed out the legal framework, and even guided the defendant toward proper procedure, like filing motions correctly. On top of that, there was actually a lawyer present to help him, and he still resisted. The result? Confusion, contradictions, and a defense that never really stood a chance. The biggest takeaway here is simple. In court, confidence without knowledge is a dangerous combination. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think the defendant genuinely believed his arguments, or was this just a strategy that completely backfired? If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.